Hey there, good day, good people. Welcome to this episode of MCM-TV. I'm your host, Leon Carpenter, and today I'm sitting with a couple of boys from Without End.
How's it going?
Thanks for sitting with me. We are going to be discussing the ins and outs of the band, including why there's only a couple here, but let's start with who they are. We'll start with introductions.
I'm Alex. I play lead guitar and sing backup vocals.
My name's Shayne, just a guitar player.
Okay, right on. So how long have you guys known each other?
For
Only a few months. I mean, we met in what, like October-ish?
Yeah,
last
October.
year?
Is that because, Shayne, you're the new guy?
I am the new guy. So I actually met Alex from a different band. So one of his other bands he played for asked, they needed a guitar player or something for a gig, and I knew the drummer from a previous band. So that drummer kind of brought me in, and that's how I met Alex. So, and then after jamming with them a few times, it became very obvious that me and Alex had similar playing styles and similar music interests.
Right on.
So
extremely, like, exactly the same.
yeah, so Alex offered for me to come and jam with this band, like the band he was playing, another band he was playing with at the time. And from then on, everything just kind of really clicked. So it was awesome.
So there's two of you here now. My understanding from our initial conversations were that you guys are going through a bit of a shift in people. You got some new guys in the band as well.
Yep.
The drummer is still available, but he's just not here today, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so you've got you got a new bass player?
We got a new bass player. His name is Matt, and he's really good, very diverse player. And he brought in recently a friend of his.
Still kind of experimenting with it though. Like, we only met him once.
Okay.
Yeah, he's extremely good singer. So
Right on. Let's talk about the name, because the name Without End has been the name since the beginning. Is this true?
Yep.
And where did the name come from?
The name came from actually our previous singer, David. We were talking about names and trying to think about something, but we wanted it to mean something as well. And Without End was it's hard to find a band name that wasn't taken.
I know the feeling.
We found, we ended up on Without End because it was how we felt about music. Like, just something we're going to do forever.
Right
it's
on.
not going to be, it'll never end,
That's cool. So the music that you play, how would you describe that music? What type of genre would you classify yourselves as?
Like new metal type.
Yeah,
I mean, not as brutal, not as heavy, but more of like a newer school metal. We both have a lot of old school metal influences.
Okay, good, because I was going to kind of contradict you when you said new metal, because
that's why I wanted to like verify.
It is kind of, in my opinion, it's some old school metal with a new twist. It's got a new fresh flavor to it, which is really cool. So with that, what are some of those influences from the past that have kind of given you guys that foundation?
You can go first.
For me, it's I started on Metallica. Mm-hmm. That was my first favorite band. I heard Sad But True, and that was
great tune.
Huge, sounding. It was, I wanted to play guitar, and Bullet for My Valentine is my main influence.
Okay.
As far as the newer style with like the harmonized guitars and the singing and screaming, like that's very influenced by them and like Avenged Sevenfold.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Shayne?
More of like a classic rock vibe is what I grew up with. My dad showed me initially how to play guitar, just like the bass power chords and stuff. But I mean, it was stuff like AC/DC, Van Halen. My dad's really big in like Scorpions and Jethro Tull. So, I mean, first song I ever learned how to play was TNT by AC/DC. So you learn your first song, you play it, 50 times in a day. Mm-hmm. It's the first thing you learn all the way through, and you just eventually start to branch out. And I mean, AC/DC was my first initial band I got into, but it made me branch out into bands like Ozzy Osbourne and Van Halen and Rat and Extreme. And like Nuno Bettencourt from Extreme is one of my all-time favorite guitar players.
Fantastic.
So he's ridiculous. So was Randy Rhoads from Ozzy. So you gotta love the greats.
Excellent. Well, why don't we give an example of some of the music? You guys just released this latest CD here, right?
Yep.
Revenge for the Fallen. We're going to talk more towards the end of this interview as to where and how you can find this. Which track are we going to hear off of here first?
Life.
life. Is there any type of story or anything behind that?
It's just really about trying to find yourself, and find your purpose and why it is you do what you do, and why it is you're trying to get to where you want to be in life.
Fantastic. So. All right, check it out. We'll see you back here in 60 seconds.
I'm trying to get this life down, but it's hiding from me. Could happiness be for eternity? Let that be me. I don't wanna be nobody else. I wanna be myself. I wanna be I'm trying to get this life down, but it's hiding from me.
All right, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that example off of their new CD, Revenge for the Fallen. You started to mention a couple of the previous bands. Let's talk about some of the history. I mean, you guys have only known each other for a short while, but what kind of bands have you guys been in? I mean, the talent is there. You've been playing for a long time. Where have you been?
I mean, the very first band I played in was really like a new school metal, like really like a little bit old school thrashy vibe, but like the really hardcore screaming, fast paced mosh pit, I played with a band called Tonight We March for a little bit, and that was that whole experience. And then that ended because our drummer moved away. But I formed a second band called Hearts Like Ice. We only ended up playing a couple shows just because of lack of motivation from a few musicians. I had a couple buddies that were really into it, but just a couple that were not, and it was hard to find replacements. It was cool, but
this here seems a little bit more solid.
Yes.
This is where you want to be.
Oh, for sure.
Right
so,
on.
Yeah, this band is very, I see a future with it.
Fantastic. And Alex, what about your past?
I was in two bands before this one, and one of them I was in for a really long time, like almost 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I started playing guitar, and I started a band right away. I started with a couple friends, and we went through a bunch of people, and it seemed like we learned really fast, and then we were better than a lot of the people that we tried out, and we couldn't really find a solidified band. And by the time that we did, it was like after so long we had like creative differences, so we ended up joining, going our separate ways and doing different things, which I joined a band called Shudder, and that was my really first experience as far as playing out. They played out of state and played out of around locally, but cities away, and you drove an hour or 2 hours to get there, or so it was kind of like a taste of what touring would be like without actually going and doing it.
That's great, because that segues us right into the next question I was going to ask is, have either of you ever toured? Have you been in a project that's gotten you out of Detroit?
Gotten out, but have not toured. Have not toured out.
Where's the farthest you've gone thus far? Because I think with this, you guys are going to have no problem.
Indiana is the farthest I've gone.
So a couple hours drive, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Is good enough. Excellent.
Yeah, I got to go play in Philly. It
Lucky.
was a great feeling with 7 Story Fall, which was awesome, which is with the drummer that played in the other band, how I met Alex. So I actually met Alex. I played a show with Shudder, but I played in more of like a pop rock type band called 7 Story Fall, and the only show I played with them was actually like, across the country in Philadelphia. And it's such a great feeling because it was during a music festival. So like,
yeah, right on.
Everything was on one street. You're playing in like a bar with like a giant open area, and like just a ton of people flood to you. You get off stage, in a different part of the country, like I said, and everyone wants to meet you and talk to you, and like the feeling is unreal.
So festivals is where it's at.
Yeah, for sure.
Festivals is the best feeling.
It's awesome.
That's really cool.
It's like festivals have built-in crowds too, so there's more energy there automatically than any other place.
It's hard to fill a bar these days, isn't it?
Seriously.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. So, of all the places that you played, have you had a favorite venue, favorite show?
We've played at the Diesel a lot in Chesterfield, and we actually had our CD release party there, which there was a lot of people there, definitely, a couple hundred people. And
cool. Would you say Diesel's your favorite place to play as well, Shayne?
Favorite venue, probably. When it comes to show, like best show I ever played, it's either the CD release party we played with one of my favorite bands, Famous Last Words, or that Philly show was awesome. Definitely top 2. But local Michigan, the Diesel in Chesterfield is by far my favorite.
Okay, so here's one I like to throw out to the guys and gals, if I'm interviewing gals. And this can go either way. I want you to remember back to your first show. So either your first show together or just your first experience on stage. What do you guys remember when we talk about that?
You want to go first?
You can go first. I'm trying to think of it. It's been a while.
I played a couple of our high school had it was called GAP, and it was a guided activities program. They had a rock show once, like every couple months, and that was my first time ever getting on a stage and playing, and it was I had horrible stage fright, no skill whatsoever, and just like green to
complete
the whole
train wreck.
Yeah, it was a huge difference. Now after you just have to play them and get over it. Stage fright goes away just by doing it.
That's right. Absolutely.
So
yeah, I agree. I can't remember too many shows with Tonight We March, but a lot of them were just like 5 local bands you get hopped on. I remember my first big show with that band way back when. Probably my first memory. I had a couple buddies filling in, and it was at Harpo's with a couple. Yeah,
you've played Harpo's. That's great.
It was at Harpo's with a bunch of it was national death metal bands. Like one of them was over from Europe, and we looked like the biggest sissies ever. I thought we were heavy, but we had like a little bit of clean singing, and like we looked like 13-year-old girls playing. But
that's awesome. Yeah. Before we take another break, I want to talk about your instruments now. Right, you're both guitarists.
Yep.
So let's talk about the guitars you play. Alex, you've got a Jackson sitting over here. Is that the one you play predominantly? That
is my main guitar. I got that one recently, last February, I think, or last March. Mm-hmm. And it's been a great addition. I originally played an American 50th anniversary Strat. It's pretty awesome. It plays better than any guitar I've ever played. I just wish it had hotter pickups now that I play a little bit heavier style than when I started. Mm-hmm. But it does the job. They're both great quality guitars, and
you're pretty dedicated to Jackson. Why did you pick that guitar?
I picked it because of I wanted to be, like Bullet for My Valentine. I wanted to, my favorite guitarists played that style V. Lexi Leho from Children of Bodom, another band I really like, also plays that ESP style of the same guitar, and it's pinstriped. I think it looks awesome. I think it's really flashy, styly look, and I like to do, shredding guitar solos. So
Jacksons can handle that.
Yeah, it definitely helps out.
Right on. And you, Shayne?
For sure. I had to get the guitar of one of my favorite guitar players ever. Everyone's got their idol. So I got a Jackson R3 Randy Rhoads. Beautiful. That I played for the longest time, but I need to change the pickups or something on it. Besides that, I am strict to Ibanez RGs. I've had 3. I play one live right now, and honestly, like out of all the guitars I've played, all different kinds of brands and everything, I love my Jackson, but Ibanez RGs specifically, even like the Prestige models are unbeatable. They're perfect, especially for this style of music. You tune down a little bit, you want to play some really fast riffs. It's awesome. You can't beat the sound.
Fantastic. All right, why don't we take another MCM minute and give another example of a track off of the CD. You guys have a track picked out?
Cryout.
Any story? You just want to get right into it?
It's kind of just it's a song that's really relatable. It's for anyone that's going through a tough time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So definitely for anyone who's going through some sort of situation, it's a song that I think everyone can relate to.
Fantastic. Check it out. We'll see you in 60 seconds.
I value time. In this life I'm living, I'm locked behind chains that need broken. I lose
back, everybody. All right. So when you guys play, you're an original band, but do you play any covers when you play?
We played
Yes.
Tears Don't Fall from Bullet for My Valentine and Smile in Your Sleep from Silverstein.
Kill it.
All right. So as far as the original stuff goes, who does the writing?
We all kind of contribute, mostly me and Shayne. We'll come to each other with,
Riffs.
Yeah. Stockpile, we
We'll just kind of fit something together. We actually just we're putting some finishing touches on a new song, and it's one of those deals. It's the first time it's actually happened where I'll have like a verse riff and Alex will have a chorus riff, and we'll kind of just
put them together,
blend them together, and it sounds sweet. It sounds really full and awesome because like we can kind of just finish each other's riffs off and kind of just fine tune each other to the point where it's like perfect.
One of the best things too is when we play together, we it's like it's good chemistry. We know. We almost know what each other's thinking, like how we're going to go into the next riff. We can really improvise with each other. So writing is fast.
We're unstoppable.
Right on. That's cool.
We're unstoppable.
So the music just kind of flows. I know you guys are going through the transition right now with the new singer. Was Dave the one that was bringing all the lyrics? Is he the poet?
Dave is very good at writing lyrics. He as far as lyrics goes, me and David worked on a lot of the lyrics together.
Mm-hmm.
And when I could come up with some good lyrics, sometimes I couldn't figure out, the melody. And that was like something that he was really good at as well, as just putting melody to it, which the new singer is apparently very good at as well. So
fantastic.
Good for future.
Okay, so when you guys get together at rehearsal, what is that like?
Cold.
Awesome.
Cold? Why would you say cold?
We practice in a garage. And
Jesus.
It's been like below zero.
Oh my God.
We have like a space heater though. So I mean it's not bad, just like when we don't have kerosene and you can see your breath and you're wearing a winter jacket, then it gets kind of... Your hands can't move as fast, Is
that at your drummer's place?
Yeah.
All right, so it's cold.
But it's we all get together and we have like a structured practice. It's half structured. We
to have fun.
Yeah, we like to have fun. We usually start out by just talking and jamming, just kind of like improvising all together, just playing whatever comes to mind, and then we buckle down after that's done and okay, let's run through the set, and then we run through the set and we take a break and kind of mess around on new stuff, and then it's kind of how our practice goes.
Yeah, and it kind of follows that same routine. You guys get together same day each week?
Yeah,
for the most part.
2 days a week usually.
You guys get together twice a week.
Yeah, we try to stay as productive as possible. Find that one day doesn't really work because you end up forgetting by the next practice, what you worked on, or exactly how it went. You might remember some of it, but we don't record our stuff at practice like we should. So
sometimes you get like the voice memo on your iPhone.
Yeah,
just, like, write it down in the center of practice.
Once again, it's the iPhone Chronicles is what we call that in my band. So that's great. So aside from being pretty cold and soon pretty hot when you're at practices, has this band been faced with any challenges? I would assume you have a few things here to chat with, especially since you're going through a little bit of a turnover right now. But what's been the toughest part about making this project work? Just dump that one on the new guy.
I'll contribute.
I got a couple, but a few things. Just to touch base on a couple of the things, a couple people just lack of motivation for some things, not being punctual with where you have to be, certain place, certain time, whether it be a practice or a show, has been an issue. A couple of venues, I won't say, have been to the point where I don't want to play there again.
Right on. Yeah,
so
that happens.
When it comes to if it's just us and we're all together, everything is fine. But just some days, some members will just I keep saying, lack of motivation. So something won't get done and it gets put on someone else, and that causes a little bit of tension. Nothing super bad or anything. So there's been nothing like awful. Just like little things.
Sure.
So watch your
that's always a tricky question, right? Because nobody wants to throw anybody under their bus or air their dirty laundry, what have you. But putting a band together, finding that magic and everything working out, it's not easy. And everybody goes through these types of challenges and struggles. So I always like to bring that up just to see how far people are willing to take their answers.
Once it clicks too, it clicks. You find the right set of guys, the guys that we're all jamming with right now. Like, I think this is the set. Like, this is it. Everyone is perfect.
This is the boat that'll take you there.
We're still like kind of messing with a lead singer, so like nothing's set down. But you know, like the guy we just met, you know, awesome, kills it. Just everyone shreds their instrument, and that's cool. There's a lot of chemistry.
Well, that's why we're here doing this interview now. The timing is right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was lots of talent in this CD here,
it's only going
to get better. So I think the timing is right to check these guys out live.
Appreciate it.
Let's talk a little bit about the direction for the band, because that's kind of where we're at right now. Have you guys, either between the two of you, since you seem to be writing a lot of the riffs or what have you, and or with the drummer, since you've got more history with him, had any type of conversations about where this thing is going? What is the intent? What are you planning on doing with it?
Well,
I mean, it's easy to say, we want to sell 1 million records and tour the world and be rich and famous.
That's our answer.
But realistically, I mean, what is the plan?
Realistically, the plan is to really just focus on what's working. Like right now, we have we're kind of like a genre that we've got a wide fan base. We relate to older people and younger people and all in between, you know. And so we kind of want to stick to that. Our next album's going to be a little bit heavier, but not to the unbearable point for those who aren't as much of metalheads as we are.
But probably past the threshold of radio.
Yeah,
maybe?
Yeah.
So the goal is to be on the radio.
Some songs will be radio friendly, but others are.
Some songs should be perfect for it.
I mean, it'll be
like some Avenged and that sort of thing.
It's going to be all in the same kind of niche, but there obviously is going to be, you know, a track or two that's heavier than the other. We have a couple that we're finishing that are like the ballads, you know, like they're huge, and then we have them like a couple of the tracks that are really riffy, fast, and then we got more that are just like heavy,
like
brutal,
really,
like something that the crowd can get really into
Yeah.
and just punch each other in the face, like.
For sure.
It's awesome. So it remains to the same, it sticks to the same niche, but it's got a little bit of a variety.
Long-term goals would be definitely touring, even if it's with a bigger band or opening up or whatever. You know, we'll take it. We want to do it. We want to...
Festivals.
Big festivals. Summertime, festivals, outdoors, barbecues.
Well, why don't we take our last break and give them one more example, aside from the credits, which we'll get in a little bit. I got a piece of styrofoam stuck to my leg here. What track do we want to leave them with here?
Let's go with My Everything, yeah.
My Everything. Any setup, or do you want to get right into it?
Let's get right into it. It's a relationship, so...
All right, very good. We'll see you back here in 60 seconds.
Obsession. I need you to live. Being here without you, I'd have nothing to give. Well, I feel you crawling through my skin. Unleash the beast that is within. I need your hands. I need you are my
Okay, welcome back. We are going to kind of bring this last segment to a close here with just a few more questions, but this is where it gets a little bit fun. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the personal stuff. You guys aren't full-time musicians yet, right?
Right.
So you probably have day jobs. Do you care to share what those are?
Go ahead.
You don't have to.
All my buddies and anyone who knows me is... All right. I work for Kroger. Mm-hmm. I'm a cashier. Okay. I deal with people on a daily basis. I'm a people person. I would not like to be there for too much longer. So I've been with Kroger. I hit my 5-year anniversary in June.
Fantastic.
So I was a bagger for a year. I'm a cashier for almost 4 years. And, you know, you deal with a lot of people. You meet a lot of weird people. You meet a lot of angry people. You meet the nicest people ever. My day job is just, it's different every day.
That's cool. Right on. Alex, you care to share what you do?
I work at a dealership in the body shop.
Right on.
Yeah, so I'm a parts guy, and definitely want to tour.
Well, yeah.
Same field.
Yeah.
Well, it's always a fun one to ask, just simply because, you know, we're as musicians, we're starving artists, right, as they say. So everybody has to pay the bills in some way until you make it, right? You know, and you know, if you guys were out touring and making a ton of cash, you wouldn't be sitting here right now talking with me, right? So it's always interesting to try and find out how people are supporting their art, because that's really what it all boils down to. You guys want to be musicians. In order to do so, you still have to be able to pay the bills, right?
I
can't wait to that point too. That point where it's just like you're making more money from music than you are your day job, and you can just be like, I quit. You know?
I'm done. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Awesome. Can't wait for that.
Which is, I think, kind of like the first initial goal, right? As a musician, you just want it to be able to be self-sustaining.
Once you make a living off of it, or turn what you like to do into your job, it's not as much of a job. It's, you know, like it
just becomes a lifestyle that you enjoy.
It's hard too. One thing I really want to emphasize is local bands nowadays, especially in Detroit. When a local band plays a venue, you know, 99% of the time they're not getting paid. So like, it's really big when people come out and see us, you know, and get support from fans, friends, family, whatever it is. Because, you know, most of the artists you see that aren't national bands, like just the regular local bands, they're not getting anything to play that show. They're just going out and trying to perform their art, and they're like, it's really important that people come and show support. You know, just go to your local shows. So it amazes me how much people start to care about a band after they get signed. You know, like I didn't care anything about them. They got signed to like this label or this label. You know, like they're obviously awesome.
And then
now.
I knew them,
but it's like no, they're the same. Like they're the same deal. You just never went. So.
All right. So before we bring this to a close, do you guys have any acknowledgements? You know, you want to throw a shout out or thank anybody or anything like that?
I would definitely like to thank my friends and family and my fiance and all of our fans for the support and showing up to the shows and sharing our music and showing everybody, you know, it really helps out, and we really appreciate it. We wouldn't be anything without you guys, so thank you guys.
Right on. Cool. How about you, Shayne?
I'd like to thank my mom and dad, obviously, for continuing to support me in my music career. Even like not even complaining a little bit when I was slightly too loud. But my friends that would come out to the shows, I'd like to personally thank Fireball Whiskey for always being there for me.
Right on.
When times were tough. Mountain Dew was always there. I'd like to thank Taco Bell. And
all necessities.
They are all necessities. Like, I'm serious. They're all necessities. Like, for playing a gig, you know, you gotta have everything perfect. So, thank you to all of you. And if you want to endorse me, like, I wouldn't complain. So, yeah, I think that's
Speaking of endorsements, would any of them be a dream endorsement?
Oh, what would your dream endorsement be?
I would like an endorsement from ESP Guitars. That would be my dream.
Oh, right on.
Guitar. Just, they all come perfected, you know, the EMG pickups, the great style, and all their signatures are great.
Cool. Right on.
Awesome. Mine's probably along the same lines. Mine would be Fireball Whiskey. Fireball Whiskey, or I would love to be endorsed by Victoria's Secret. That'd be sweet. Getting like models to come with me and stuff, and just like they can promote it on stage and stuff, and we have dancers and stuff. That'll be awesome. So yeah, Fireball, Victoria's Secret,
And Dew.
Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew. And I think that's it. Fireball, Victoria's Secret, Mountain Dew.
All right, right on. All right, cool. So, any last words? Is there anything that we didn't talk about you want to be able to share with the fans, or
say your last words?
You know, just again, can't acknowledge enough that we appreciate everybody that actually comes out to shows and buys our tickets and buys our merch and our CDs and share them with others. You know, we really appreciate it. So, thank you very much.
Cool.
Come to local shows. See your local bands from your hometown. Support is everything.
Yeah, even if it's not us.
But still come watch us because we're pretty awesome.
We'll
come hang out. come party. It's a lot of fun. You know, local shows are very, they're not showing a lot of love lately. So, and that needs to change. The Detroit scene needs to stop dying down.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to put Detroit back on the map here, aren't we?
We definitely are.
Good idea. All right, well, let's bring this one to close. I think that's going to do it for this episode. I would like to thank the boys for having a little sit down with me. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about them, check them out on their Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com/ make sure I get it right, Without End Band. You have to add the band at the end. So facebook.com/ Without End Band. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about myself, you can check out my fan page. Go to facebook.com/ The Iron Carpenter Fans. And as always, check out MotorCityMusicians.com. Just the other interesting interviews such as this one, and there will be a button that'll take you to our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel where you'll be able to see the extended version of this interview. So until next time, support your local music. I'm Leon Carpenter. Keep the music alive.